You need to hear this right now. This rare wheat penny valuation surpasses $212 million in global coin market trends. Because what I'm about to show you could already be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or buried in a jar somewhere in your house, and you wouldn't even notice it. This is not hype. This is not fiction. This is real money hiding in plain sight. We're talking about a 1,958 wheat penny that looks worn, rusty, even dirty. But collectors see something completely different. They see a silent fortune. They see serious money. And if you miss this one tiny detail, you could literally spend a life-changing opportunity without even blinking. So listen carefully, stay with me, because this exact coin, has shocked the market, and what you're about to learn changes everything. Now picture this. It's 1,958 in the United States. The end of an era. This is the final year the wheat penny was ever made before everything changed, in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial design. That alone already puts pressure on this coin. The entire system was transitioning. Mints were pushing production hard to meet demand, machines were under stress, dies were wearing down, and quality control wasn't perfect. That tension, that moment in history, created coins that today collectors are quietly hunting, aggressively bidding on, and refusing to let go of. And here's where it gets serious. The 1,958 wheat penny with the Denver Mint mark, that small D under the date, most people ignore it. They see a common coin. But collectors, they slow down. They lean in. Because the Denver Mint in that final wheat year produced coins under pressure, and surviving examples with original surfaces, especially in extra fine condition, are becoming harder and harder to find. This is not just a coin. This is the last breath of a design that ran for decades. Now look at the coin itself. On the front, you've got Abraham Lincoln's profile, calm, steady, facing right. The word liberty on the left, the date 1958, with that small D mint mark just below, and in God we trust, stretching across the top. It feels simple, almost too simple, and that's exactly why people miss it. Flip it over, and you see those iconic wheat ears on both sides, framing 1 cent and United States of America. That reverse, that wheat design, it's history frozen in metal. And this is the final year it ever appeared. Now let's talk about what it's made of, because this matters more than you think. This coin is struck from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. That high copper content gives it that deep brown tone. And over time, those green and rusty spots start forming. Most people panic when they see that. They think it's damaged. But collectors, they call it original toning. They call it character. They call it proof that the coin hasn't been messed with. And that is everything. Hold it in your hand and feel it. About 3.11 grams. Around 19 millimeters in diameter. Thin, about 1.5 millimeters thick. Small, light, easy to ignore, easy to spend. And that's exactly the danger. Because coins like this disappear every single day into circulation, into change jars, into places where they're forgotten, while collectors are out there quietly hunting them. Now here's where things get intense. Survival. Do you know how many of these actually made it through decades without being cleaned, scratched, or destroyed? Very few. Because people didn't treat them like treasure. They treated them like pocket change. And once a coin is cleaned, it's over. The value drops. The natural surface is gone forever. That original brown tone, those green spots, that antique look, that's what collectors fight for. That's what drives the price up. And yes, we're talking about real money here. A 1,958D wheat penny in extra fine condition with original surfaces, has reached market values around $280 hundredth. Let that sink in. That is not just a coin, that is hidden wealth. That is a silent fortune, sitting in something most people wouldn't even pick up twice. And here's what collectors are doing right now. They're not selling these. They're holding. They're locking them away. Because demand is rising and supply is shrinking. Every year fewer clean, original examples exist. Every year more people realize what they've been missing. And when one shows up at auction, the room goes quiet. Then the bids start, fast, aggressive, emotional. This is not casual collecting. This is serious money moving. So listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. If you find a 1,958 wheat penny with a D mint mark, stop. Do not clean it. I don't care how dirty it looks. Never clean it. That dirt could be the very thing making it valuable. Keep the original toning intact. Get it professionally graded. Because one wrong move, one attempt to improve it, and you could destroy a life-changing opportunity. Check the details. Look for that mint mark. Look at the surface. Look at the condition. Be patient. Because patience is where the real money is made in this game. This is not about luck. This is about awareness. And here's the part most people don't realize. This is just the beginning. Because the next coin, the one coming up, is even rarer, even more shocking, and far more dangerous to ignore. This next piece has collectors fighting harder, paying more, and guarding it like a secret treasure. If you thought this was big, what comes next will completely change how you see every coin in your pocket. Stay with me, because you do not want to miss this. Before you even blink, before you even think about skipping, I need you to understand something right now. This coin we're about to expose is being spent every single day like it's nothing. Dropped into vending machines, handed over at gas stations, lost in couch cushions. And people have no idea they're giving away a silent fortune. This is not hype. This is not fiction. This is real money hiding in plain sight. And if you miss this, you could lose a life-changing opportunity without ever knowing it. Stay with me, because this exact detail, changes everything. Now, imagine the United States in 1957. The economy is shifting, pressure is building, and the country is right on the edge of a major transition. The Lincoln wheat penny is nearing the end of its run, just 1 year before it disappears forever. Mints are pushing out massive quantities of coins to meet demand. Machines are running hot, dies are wearing down, and under that pressure, subtle variations, unique surfaces, and rare survivors are being created. Most of these coins didn't survive in collectible condition. They were used, abused, spent, and forgotten. But a few, a very small number, made it through with their original character still alive. And here's where it gets serious. The 1,957 wheat penny without a mint mark. That means it came out of the Philadelphia Mint. No letter under the date, nothing. And because there's no mint mark, people assume it's common. They overlook it instantly. But collectors don't make that mistake. They slow down. They inspect. Because finding a 1,957 with no mint mark, still in very fine condition, still holding on to its original brown tone, with those black and green spots, that's where the quiet wealth lives. Look at the coin closely. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait stands strong, facing right. In God we trust. Across the top, liberty on the left, and the date 1957 sitting clean with no mint mark beneath it. That empty space, that absence, that's the first thing you need to notice. Flip it over, and those iconic wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. It looks simple. It looks ordinary. And that's exactly why people are accidentally spending it every day. But this coin is anything but ordinary. It's made from 95% copper, with the remaining 5% tin and zinc. That copper, over decades, reacts with air, moisture, and time itself, creating those deep brown tones, those black shadows, and those green spots you see on both sides. Most people think that's damage. They think it's ugly. But collectors, they see originality. They see untouched history. That surface tells a story, and once it's cleaned, that story is gone forever. Hold it in your hand and really feel it. Around 3.11 grams, roughly 19 millimeters across, about 1.5 millimeters thick, light, easy to ignore, easy to lose. And that's the danger, because coins like this slip through fingers every single day, disappearing back into circulation while collectors are out there hunting, searching, waiting for one to appear. Now let's talk about survival, because this is where things get intense. A 1,957 wheat penny went through heavy circulation. It was used in a booming economy, passed from hand to hand, worn down, scratched, cleaned, and destroyed over time. Finding one today in very fine condition, with its details still sharp, Lincoln's features still visible, the wheat lines still defined, that's rare. But finding one with original toning, untouched surfaces, and those natural black and green patterns still intact, that's where the real value explodes. And yes, this is where it hits hard. Because this exact coin, has reached market values around $340. 90th. Let that sink in for a second. That's not pocket change. That's hidden wealth. That's serious money, sitting in something people overlook every single day. This is the kind of coin that collectors don't just want. They chase it. They compete for it. They fight for it quietly in auctions where bids climb fast and nobody wants to back down. Right now, collectors are holding these coins tight. They're not letting them go because they know something most people don't. Supply is shrinking. Every year, more of these coins are lost, damaged, or destroyed. And demand, it keeps rising. More collectors are entering the market, more eyes are searching, and when a strong example appears, the energy is intense. This is not casual. This is serious collecting. So listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. If you find a 1,957 wheat penny with no mint mark, stop immediately. Do not clean it. I don't care how dark it looks, how spotted it is. Never clean it. That original toning, those black and green spots, that antique surface, that's exactly what collectors want. Cleaning it will destroy the value instantly. Keep it safe. Get it professionally graded. Because one wrong move could erase a life-changing opportunity. Check every detail. Look at the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Study the surface. Respect the condition. And most importantly, be patient. Because patience is where the real silent fortune reveals itself. And just when you think this is as big as it gets, the next coin is on a completely different level. Rarer, more shocking, more dangerous to ignore. This next one has created real auction chaos. The kind of coin that changes everything the moment you recognize it. Stay with me, because what's coming next, you are not ready for. Do not scroll, do not look away, because this is the moment most people miss the biggest opportunity of their lives. This coin right here, this exact 1,956 wheat penny, is being spent every single day like it's nothing. People see the stains, the green spots, the worn look, and they throw it away, they hand it over, they ignore it. But what they don't realize is they're giving away a silent fortune. This is not a joke. This is not hype. This is real, serious money hiding in plain sight, and if you miss this one, it could change everything. Now go back with me to 1956 in the United States. The country is moving fast, industry is booming, and the demand for coinage is intense. The Lincoln wheat penny is nearing the end of its life cycle, just a couple of years before it disappears forever. Mints are under pressure, machines are striking coins non-stop, and under that stress, details get softer, surfaces vary, and only a few coins survive with the kind of originality collectors are obsessed with today. Most of these coins were heavily used, passed from hand to hand, worn down, and eventually lost to time. But a few, just a few, made it through. And here's where people make a huge mistake. The 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark. No letter under the date means it came from Philadelphia. And because there's no mint mark, most people instantly think it's common. They don't even look twice. That's exactly why this coin is slipping through people's fingers every single day. But collectors, they don't ignore it. They slow down, they study it, because they know this is where hidden treasure lives. Look closely at the front. Abraham Lincoln's profile, facing right, calm, but powerful. In God we trust, stretched across the top. Liberty sitting on the left, and the date 1956 with no mint mark beneath it. That empty space is your first clue. Flip it over, and you see those iconic wheat ears wrapping around 1 cent and United States of America. That design, that wheat reverse, is a piece of history that ended just a few years later. And this coin is part of that final chapter. Now let's talk about what it's made of, because this is where things get even more interesting. This coin is struck from 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc. Over decades, that copper reacts with the environment, creating that deep, rusty brown color mixed with light and dark green spots across both sides. Most people think that's damage. They think it lowers the value. But collectors, they see originality. They see untouched surfaces. They see proof that the coin hasn't been cleaned or altered. And that is everything. Hold it in your hand. Feel the weight, about 3.11 grams. The size, around 19 millimeters across. The thickness, roughly 1.5 millimeters. It feels small. It feels ordinary. And that's the danger. Because something this small, this easy to ignore, is carrying serious money, quiet wealth, a life-changing opportunity that most people will never even notice. Now here's where it gets intense. Survival. A 1956 wheat penny lived a hard life. It circulated through one of the busiest economic periods in U.S. history. It was used, dropped, scratched, exposed to moisture, and often cleaned by people who thought they were improving it. And that's the biggest mistake, because once a coin is cleaned, its original surface is gone forever. The natural toning, the rusty brown color, those green spots, wiped out. And with it, the value disappears. Finding one today in fine condition, with visible details still intact, Lincoln's features still readable, the wheat lines still present, that's already rare. But finding one with original toning, untouched surfaces, and that authentic antique look, that's where collectors start paying attention. That's where the bidding starts getting serious. And yes, this is where it hits hard again. Because this coin has reached market values around $380. Just let that sink in. That is not small money. That is hidden wealth. That is a silent fortune sitting in something people throw into jars and forget about. This coin is a treasure, worth serious money. The kind of coin that collectors don't just buy, they fight for. Right now, collectors are holding these coins tight. They're not selling. They're waiting. Because they know the truth. Supply is shrinking every year. More coins are lost. More are damaged. More are cleaned and destroyed. And at the same time, demand is rising. More collectors are entering the market. More eyes are searching. And when a strong example shows up at auction, the room goes quiet. Then the bidding explodes. Fast. Aggressive. Emotional. Nobody wants to lose it. So listen to me carefully. Do not spend this coin. If you find a 1,956 wheat penny with no mint mark, stop immediately. Do not clean it. Never clean it. Those rusty brown tones and green spots are not damage, they are value. Keep the coin exactly as it is. Protect it. Get it professionally graded. Because one wrong move, one attempt to make it look better, and you could destroy a life-changing opportunity forever. Check every detail. Look at the date. Notice the missing mint mark. Study the surface. Respect the condition. And be patient, because patience is where real money is made in this game. This is not luck. This is awareness. This is knowing what others ignore. And now you see the truth. These coins are not just pennies. They are hidden treasures, silent fortunes, life-changing opportunities hiding in plain sight. People are spending them every single day, and they have no idea what they're losing. The real question is, will you be one of them? Or will you be the one who finally sees it?